Song of the Dolphins Clean-Up. The ocean awoke to a truly unique morning. Golden rays of sunlight danced on the waves like thousands of sparkling stars. Deep within the turquoise waters, corals looked like colorful towers whispering lullabies to the fish. In this shimmering world, the young dolphin named Splash was joyfully leaping above the water's surface. With his curious eyes, he explored the sea and listened to every fish's worries. His mother always told him, "The bright mark on your back is a symbol of your courage to help others." While playing among the foamy waves, Splash noticed movement deep below. He was delighted to see Shelley, the sea turtle he greeted every morning. But as he looked closer, worry filled his heart. A huge plastic bag had wrapped itself around Shelley's left flipper. The white bag, swept by the ocean current, was pulling her down to the depths. Shelley struggled desperately, and the shadow of the bag dimmed the shine on her shell. "Help me," Shelley cried, her voice echoing among the corals. "This plastic, it's going to tear my flipper off." Seeing the fear in Shelley's eyes made Splash's heart ache. In that moment, he remembered his mother's words. Courage begins by hearing the cries for help of those who are powerless. He quickly swam to Diver, the wise leader of the pod. Diver, with the scars on his grey back, was the most experienced protector of the sea. "Diver," called Splash, his fins trembling. "Shelley is struggling with plastic. Let's help her." Upon hearing Splash's urgent call, Diver sprang into action. His grey back gleamed between the waves as he called out to the pod in a strong voice. "Friends, we need help. A plastic bag is stuck on Shelley's flipper. Let's all help her together." The dolphins, hearing this call echo through the waves, quickly gathered. A few young dolphins jumped swiftly at the surface. Little Lila asked excitedly, "What happened, Diver? Is Shelley okay?" Diver lifted his fin to calm the pod. "Don't worry. If we work together, we can save Shelley." Splash joined them, his eyes full of hope. "Come on, we can do this together." All the dolphins lined up side by side like a chain. Moving forward through the foamy waves with courage and friendship, they reached Shelley. Each one was ready to do their best. Diver immediately made a rescue plan. Splash grabbed the end of the plastic. "The rest of you, steady Shelley with your noses." Splash bit down tightly on the waving end of the bag, while the other dolphins gently lifted Shelley. Diver carefully bit through the nylon with his sharp teeth. Once Shelley was free, she took a deep breath. "Thank you, my friends," she said, still trembling from what she'd been through. "Last month, my grandpa struggled for hours to get free from a bag like this. My uncle has an old scar on his fin from the same thing." Splash swam over and smiled at Shelley. "Don't worry, my friend," he said with a reassuring voice. "We're all together now. You're safe." After Shelley was rescued, the dolphins rested for a while in the shade of the corals. A gentle breeze made tiny ripples on the water's surface. Splash gazed sadly into the distance. You know, I've been seeing more and more trash in our sea lately. Every new day brings plastics, nets, bottles carried by the waves. Even the taste of the water seems to be changing. Diver nodded. It didn't used to be like this. When I was young, these waters sparkled. Now, there are foreign objects everywhere. Dolphin Lila sadly swished her tail. Last week I bit into something I thought was a clamshell, but it was a tiny piece of plastic. My mouth hurt for days. Old seahorse Corey, hearing their conversation, slowly approached. "Children," he said calmly, "my grandson accidentally swallowed a piece of plastic too. We're all in danger." Shelley, still feeling relief but also worry, said, "It's not just us. Every creature is threatened. Last month, my jellyfish friend got caught in a broken fishing net and couldn't get free for hours." Diver took a deep breath. Clearly, we can't solve this problem alone. We all need to come together and make a smart plan. Splash looked around with hope. Maybe we should call more creatures, let everyone know. Can't we somehow make the people on the shore hear us? Tiny Crab Dodo poked his head out from between the rocks and added, "We can help too. We can cut nets and ropes with our pincers." Looking around at his friends, Diver said confidently, "Then let's start working together to solve this problem. Everyone share what dangers you've seen, and let's join hands to find a solution." The ocean grew a little brighter with the hopeful voices of these determined friends. Everyone came together with heartfelt hope for the day the sea would shine as it once did. The next day, all the sea creatures joined forces. Shells made rhythmic calls, crabs snipped plastics with their pincers like scissors, and schools of fish carried away the trash. Just then, a fast-swimming school of swordfish broke a giant fishing net. The net sank to the ocean floor, trapping tiny crabs underneath. A young crab cried out, "Help, I can't move." Shelley turned to Splash. "The net is too heavy. We can't lift it alone." At that moment, wise starfish Epsilon appeared, his glowing, star-shaped body shining in the deep sea. The blue light around him spread like a beacon in the dark water. In his calm and thoughtful voice, he said, "Dear friends, pulling this giant net won't be easy. But we sea creatures are always strong together. Why don't we ask the nearby whales for help? With their strong bodies and kind hearts, they can lift the net and save the little crabs, and carry the net to the shore." Diver nodded thoughtfully. Wise Epsilon is absolutely right. Some of the young dolphins should go ask the whales for help. Those of us here must comfort the crabs and keep gathering trash. Splash, Lila, and two young dolphins swam swiftly out to the open sea. Gliding through the waves, they reached the cool, deep region where the whales lived. There, the huge grey whale Myra and her calf Luca were swimming peacefully. Splash called out of breath, "Myra, Luca, we need your help. A giant fishing net where we've been collecting trash has trapped the little crabs. We can't do it without you. Mira replied in her gentle voice, "Don't worry, children. Whales are always there for their friends." Lucas spun around his mother and shouted cheerfully, "Let's go save everyone." Mira called for help with a whale song that could be heard from far away. Soon, an answer came from the distance. Another whale had heard Myra's song. Myra smiled at the young dolphins. "Our good friend Orion is coming to help. Let's set off. He'll catch up with us." Meanwhile, the dolphins and other creatures were waiting by the trapped little crabs, comforting them. Diver spoke gently, "Don't be afraid, little friends. Help is on the way. Friends, until help arrives, let's keep cleaning the sea." Old seahorse Corey circled the crabs, humming an encouraging song. Shelley, the sea turtle, added, "Don't be upset. When we're together, we can overcome anything." Soon, a powerful melody echoed from the distant ocean. Splash and the other dolphins swam over joyfully. Following them, Mira and Luca arrived, creating a strong current with another large whale, Orion. The other sea creatures watched them in awe. The whales carefully grabbed the net and began lifting it gently. Splash, Lila, and the other dolphins helped by picking off the plastic and seaweed tangled in the net. Within minutes, the strength of the whales brought the net to the surface. The crabs underneath wiggled their shells happily as they met the sunlight. Little Crab Dodo shouted, "We're free! Hooray!" The other crabs joined the group, dancing and spreading joy all around. The whales carefully carried the giant fishing net to the shore, laying it on the sand. Meanwhile, the other sea creatures brought plastic bottles, old ropes, and trash to the shore as well. Together, they made a huge pile of cleaned-up debris. Wise Epsilon watched all these efforts with a smile. "See, my friends, when we come together, we can overcome even the biggest problems. The ocean will return to its former beauty." The rescued little crabs hugged Splash and his friends gratefully. As they all returned to the sea, the ocean sparkled again, and tiny fish played happily all around. The ocean dwellers felt more hopeful and strong than they had in a long time. Later that day, with the sun shining warmly, a boat moved slowly over the open sea. This boat, gliding over the waves, belonged to Captain Finn, who passed by the sea creatures every day, watching their lives. When the dolphins heard the sound of the boat, they sprang into action, leaping over the waves and swimming toward the boat. Captain Finn was delighted to see the dolphins, who swam cheerfully around his boat every day. He watched them curiously, but something was different today. The dolphins seemed especially excited. Suddenly, Splash leapt out of the water and spun 3 circles in the air. Lila and the other dolphins followed, jumping after him. Usually, they joined the boat playfully, but today it seemed to be a sign. Captain Finn squinted and watched carefully. "Something's odd today, kids. It's as if you're trying to tell me something," he thought. The dolphins swam to the front of the boat and circled around. Then, led by Splash, hurried toward the shallow area where the trash was piled up. Finn, curious and a little worried, turned the boat to follow the dolphins. When they reached the shore, he saw a huge pile of trash that the sea creatures had gathered. Plastic bottles, fishing nets, plastic bags, and shells were heaped together. Captain Finn couldn't believe his eyes. So much trash. Whoever did this didn't think of those living in the sea, he said. He called to his crew. Look, the dolphins brought us here. They want to show us the trash they collected. He quickly returned to the harbor and notified the other fishermen and the townspeople. Within a few hours, a small fleet of boats and volunteers arrived with bags in hand. Together, with the help of the dolphins and whales, they carefully carried all the collected trash to the boats and the containers on the shore. The sea creatures watched the humans' efforts from a distance with curiosity. Once the trash was cleaned up, the shore returned to its former beauty. Captain Finn sailed closer to the dolphins and smiled. If it weren't for you, we might never have noticed this pollution. The dolphins spun a few times over the waves to show their thanks. Finn and his crew felt a brand new sense of responsibility to protect the sea, thanks to these wonderful friends. At night, plankton covered the shore like a blue blanket. People gathered on the cleaned beach for a big celebration, once again sharing their determination to keep the sea and shore clean. Captain Finn promised the sea creatures who came near the shore, "We are determined. I promise that from now on, each of us will be more careful and thoughtful. The sea belongs to all of us. This is our home. We'll protect it together." Then he showed them the bell they had made on the shore. "Look, my friends. If you have any trouble at sea, pull the rope of this bell to let us know. When we hear it, we'll come to help right away." The sea creatures were very happy to hear this. From that day on, every boat going out to sea kept nets for collecting trash, and on every new journey, any trash found in the sea was carefully gathered. The ocean sparkled once again, thanks to the efforts of humans and sea creatures working together, and looked to the future with hope. Splash, Shelley, and Captain Finn showed how their friendship saved the ocean. All the sea creatures sang Shelley's song together. "The sea is clean, blue and deep. May the stars smile upon you. May the waves sing you a lullaby. Now sleep. Your home is lovely and cool."